I say this again and again. Guys love and respect their women irrespective of their bank accounts. Women, on the other hand, say that it doesn't matter to them, but when their man makes less money than them, they start losing respect for them. It's just what it is, no matter how much women deny this. Traditional men have always known their role in society and inside their houses. Outside, they have always been fighting battles, and inside, they have been bringing security, provision, and protection to their wives and children, and even their tribes and communities. Women desire a man that they can look up to rather than down on, and I believe that is why traditional roles in a marriage must be practiced and accepted. Over the years, as gender roles changed, women no longer wanted a traditional man who had authority inside the house. After that, they started having problems with men having authority in offices. Then feminism happened. And that led to modern women taking over traditionally masculine roles in society. Today, they're tired of it and want the traditional man back because they realize they're not meant to live a masculine life. It goes against their nature, biology, and physiology. And hence, naturally, the demand for traditional husbands is on the rise. But the flip side is that more and more men are going their own way. So, the pool of traditional husbands is quite low compared to 2 or 3 decades ago. This is because men have realized that marriage is no longer a contract or commitment they're willing to get into, because they're only going to get sucked into a partnership where they will not be respected. Today's version of feminism empowers women to not just want equality, but to gain superiority over men. As Jordan Peterson put it in one of his interviews, feminists today think about 1% of men who wronged women in the past and use that to treat every man or the other 99% in the same way, basing their whole lives and the feminist ideology on it, which is a completely illogical thing to do. And this is why modern women today have incredibly high body counts, because they've equated that with being independent and free, and with getting back at those 1% of men who actually did oppress women. Men and women have their own roles, and that has not changed. The more aligned a man is with his masculinity, the more successful he's going to be. He won't be able to attain that if he suddenly decides because of popular culture that he'd rather be a woman. Similarly, the more aligned a woman is with her feminine side, the more successful she is. For her, success isn't wealth creation. It's the happiness of her children. It's in the moments that she shares with her family. However, modern feminism has completely twisted this to make it sound like being traditionally feminine is a weakness. That masculinity is a weakness. And that women need to be more masculine and men need to be more feminine. They've completely twisted it around, and women are miserable as a result. Modern feminist women say they want equality, but they only want it on their terms, which includes domination over men. Women want selective equality. They don't want true equality. They want the same salary that a man has for a particular position without having to work for it as much as that man. Women want a place in the boardroom, but they don't want to sit past 6 p.m. because they've got to go to their spa appointment. Women only reveal their anti-male woke nature when they do things because it shows they just want to ride the wave of success without having to actually work for it. They compare themselves with high-quality men who literally sacrifice their entire lives and live in incredibly competitive environments just so they can get to those positions. Modern feminine women are also promoting a dangerous narrative, which is that they believe they can function in societies without any men in those societies. This is a dangerous narrative because it will misinform young women about how they can do that without ever having to work for it. Will these women work in the sewers? Will they work in the mining industry? Will they literally work in deplorable conditions that men work in just so they can feed their wives and children? Or is it just the CEO that modern women want to emulate and look at? Why the hypocrisy? Why selective equality? Truth be told, this isn't equality, it's gender politics for domination while using whole generations of innocent women as pawns. But the flip side is that more and more men are going their own way. So the pool of traditional husbands is quite low compared to 2 or 3 decades ago. This is because men have realized that marriage is no longer a contract or commitment they're willing to get into because they're only going to get sucked into a partnership where they will not be expected. All this is because men saw that they were increasingly being seen as oppressors instead of caretakers or providers, that they naturally are. Men also saw that being tough was becoming less and less acceptable in society. They understood that the government, the media, and society in general were all set up to favor women and repress males. Who in their right mind would agree to a contract that stipulates that the other party is entitled to the other's home, land, savings, alimony, child support, furnishings, big screen TV, tax return, and dog at any time? The man only receives his clothing and shaving equipment while being homeless and owing child support for 18 years. You cannot make up a worse deal than that. Do women think that men can't walk away forever? Wrong. Men have no problem walking away and never, ever coming back. With the deck being stacked against men the way it is, walking away and staying away forever is the only option for men who value their sanity and their lives. Women made relationships with men transactional, and now they're freaking out because men accepted the challenge and flipped the script back on females. They want traditional men now after years of riding the carousel and racking up a huge body count. No thanks. Could you ever trust someone like this? In modern times, women hate stability and assurance like men hate chaos and uncertainty. When the modern woman offers nothing other than monkey double backflips, only an incredibly naive simp would invest in them. It was totally realistic that he didn't want a prenup. At every turn, child support is viewed as alimony. If women are biologically inclined to love a provider, this unemployment test is an almost sure way to get a divorce. It's as if a woman wants to test our love and decides to overeat and do no exercise. You will definitely lose interest in her after some time. They use dating to hunt and gather intel on rich guys, Chad CEO, Tyrone Trademaster, create Excel sheets on locations, times, and places, then headhunt the best option, placing them in viable placements for monkey branching. They don't want to put in the work. The man must find them, chase them, acquire them, please them, placate them, pamper and praise them because they are all queen princesses and deserve so much more because they exist. With so many streams of income at their fingertips, they don't even need a home. Just have a ring light, a phone, and an OVE account, and the money rains in better than an open roof in a thunderstorm. Based on just observation, they must be empty inside. Craving emotional jolts is the only time they feel alive. Looking deeper into meaning and purpose will sustain them and free them from this drug-like addiction of misery. Only they can choose to liberate themselves if they want a better life experience. It doesn't look like they're going to grow anytime soon. In the end, as a man, I would love to jump at the opportunity to date a female who is genuine. No, it doesn't mean I won't return the same energy because why would I ask you to be genuine if I was going to be fake? At the end of the day, I'll stay single until then, building my empire higher and stronger. Don't try and fool me with your claims to this or that either. I can see snakes coming miles away. So, guys, the lesson here for men is to not ignore the natural rules of life and understand how women think. If you make less money than her, chances are that she's going to stop having respect for you. So do what you will, but work harder than ever and always be someone she can look up to. For the ladies, the lesson is that guys really do love you, regardless of how much more or less money you make. They like you for you, not for financial comfort or anything like that. Thanks for watching The Circle of Kings. As always, we're looking forward to your support, so please hit the like button, share this video with your friends, and subscribe to the channel to stay updated with everything all kings like yourself need to know.